Hey everyone, Brian here. I don't normally do this, but I feel like it's necessary this time. Um, it's too hot out to reshoot the video. I'm just not going back out there again today. I came in from working in the yard and took a shower, put on a decent shirt, got myself looking pretty, and was still quite dehydrated when I took this video. So you'll notice two things wrong. First and foremost, it's going to be kind of shaky. I apologize for that. No amount of stabilization is going to fix that. The only thing I can do is do better next time. So sorry. The other problem you might notice is the first part of it is a little bit quiet. When I hold my phone, if I put my hand over this side, microphone's on this side, so it's a little bit harder to hear. You might have to turn it up and down a couple of times. Again, I will do better. I apologize. Actually, I might just get a decent camera for taking videos. Not like some $5,000 deal, but something a little bit better than just using my phone every time. Um, Either way, I hope it doesn't detract too much from the video. And if there's anything else, any other suggestions you have, be sure to let me know. Other than that, I hope you enjoy, and let's get on with the video. Hello everyone, Sunday, May 26, 2019, and let me tell you, it was a hot one today. Spent a little time out front doing some transplanting of all the stuff that I had left over. I'm not going to, well, I might take my video out that way, but decided I would do a little update now that the sun has gone behind the building here, behind the house here, and I can do this in the shade. Started to do this earlier, but then I realized I was sweating bullets. A lot of updates. Well, take that back. Not a lot of updates, but I think I've got everything in the final position, approximately where everything's going to be. The main reason I'm doing this is to show the ridiculous amount of growth I've gotten. And I think the reason for it is because the soil that I'm growing in, this little guy. I don't know if you can see him or not. Anywho, the soil that I'm growing in is a mix between last year's potting soil and the container down there, that black trash can. It was about 70% yard clippings, and maybe another 30% was food waste and leaves. So did my own composting, and it seems to have done really well. Like I said, it's about a 50-50 mix with regular potting soil, added some perlite, vermiculite, and just tiny bits of bone meal because I didn't have a lot of eggshells for calcium and whatnot. So everything seems to be doing well. So this is my update number 2 on how, well, I guess it's update number 1, video number 2 on the 2019 grow season. Hope you enjoy. So with the last video, we just sort of quickly went over each plant, and in this one I'm going to hopefully get a few comparisons. I don't remember the exact location I know where everything is obviously, but I don't remember which one is in each location. I do know that this one's a Tabasco. You can actually see the label right back there. And when it was planted, it was probably about that tall. And as you see, it is shot up nicely. Very healthy, dark green. It's got a couple larger leaves that have died, but that's because they were right next to these stalks where new stuff is coming out. The one habanero I'm growing this year, boring or standard, depending on how you want to describe it. It's a regular old orange hab, very, very healthy. I did trim it off the top here. It started to sprout a couple, and when it did, for some reason, the whole plant started to turn a little bit yellow. So I think he was trying to do something a little too early. So ever since I've cut it, it went back to the nice, dark, healthy green. Well, look at this bad boy. Yeah, I'm actually going to back up so you can compare those two. The one on the right is the Mad Hatter. That's what it's labeled as. It might be a Bishop's Crown. That's what I'm sort of leaning toward. And if that's the case, this one's going to be huge and healthy. We can look at the flowers here. Well, there's actually a closer one. Let's do that one. See those? Come on, there we go. All right, now focus. See the yellow corolla inside the flower there? That tells me that it's from the Capsicum bacatum variety, and it'll very likely be a Bishop's Crown. But the Mad Hatter, it's supposedly hotter. We'll see. I mean, the only way to know is to take a bite, right? Moving on, the other Tabasco, and it's doing about the same as the other one. I think it's maybe a ½ inch shorter, but not a big deal. They were about the same height when I planted them. This is the one Trinidad Moruga scorpion from the seeds from last year that I decided to plant. I like them, but they're so similar to a Reaper that I just figured I'd grow the one to make sure that I had the seeds, and that's an aphid, one aphid on top of it. Bottom looks good. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I could get seeds again, and I only had a few, so one plant should give me enough seeds to propagate the species a little further. Bahamian Beast peach. This is the one peach that I'm growing this year that's not overwintered. It's I've never actually seen the pods themselves, but it was thrown in as a freebie when I ordered some seeds from whitehotpeppers.com, and I just figured I'd give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? This is actually, both of these are Ahi Charapita. Can't wait to do the video on these because they were one of the ones I was super excited about. They were the most expensive pepper in the world at one point. Obviously that's not so much the case anymore. I planted this one a week, maybe 2 weeks sooner than I planted the one on the left over here, so it's doing much better. But they're both healthy, and I have no reason to believe that this one's going to fail. It's just going to be a little bit behind. These two here are Bahamian Goat. Now, this one's the Bahamian Beast, and this one's the Bahamian Goat. No idea what the difference between the two is. This one also was a freebie. I did not order this one, but it comes highly recommended from a couple of growers out there. Apparently it's quite delicious, and we can see right there that it's got multiple buds on the same little stem, so it's definitely a Capsicum chinense if the leaves didn't give that away. And look at the size of these leaves. I've got big old hands, and that's a big leaf. They're both looking quite good. These, if you look at the label in the back there, it says Thai hot, but I can tell you they're not Thai. See, look at these flowers. They're pointing downward. Thai varieties point upward, and if they don't point upward, they at least grow in bunches. But if they grow in bunches, they normally grow upward. So what I'm thinking is, this is a cayenne. And the Thai varieties are basically just a little bit hotter cayenne anyway, so I'm not going to be terribly upset over this. Cayenne, Thai hot, they're almost interchangeable, so I'm fine with it. This one has branched off nicely, and we've even got one growing there, and it looks like that one's actually growing upright. So it might be a dragon cayenne, which would technically be a Thai variety, but I am not sure. We're just going to have to wait it out and see. My mini herb garden. This is a, come on, focus, there we go. This is a sweet basil that's over a year old. It looks wilty, but this is sort of how these leaves have always grown. They come out and just curl straight down. And I mean, it's a healthy plant. It's been watered several times, a couple of times today. Needs to be trimmed back a little bit. There's a few branches in there that have died, but that's because it's a really old plant. This is the oregano that I grew, or that I got earlier this year. This was not one that I planted myself. This one I got from the Arrow Garden, transplanted it out, and it exploded. And this is the first time I've ever grown oregano. I need to probably trim this back. It looks like it's trying to flower some, but looking forward to trying that out. The one, or is it two? The two catnip plants that I isolated are super healthy, and there's a big old spider on top of this one. Hey, buddy. Oh, look at this little guy. Got a bunch of spiders out here, and I'm fine with it. But yeah, really healthy plants. This is for little Nikki. Cut that last video a little bit, my mistake. These are Ahi Jumbo. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are also donors. And by donors, I mean they were just sort of thrown in. You can grow them if you want to, but we're giving you the seeds for free. White hot peppers, they're very generous with their seeds. You gotta love them. The Thai basil is struggling, really needs to be repotted, and that is not tea. Do not drink it. Need to dump that out soon. This is my actual bishop's crown. It started really small, and it has stayed a lot smaller than I thought it would. It's still pretty healthy. It's wilting right now because it needed to be watered. This is one of the non-self-watering planters, and I need to keep better care on it. Over there we have a Super Sweet 100 with a couple of tomatoes showing on it. I just noticed that. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 already. Looking good. Alright, now this is one I actually don't remember. Oh, the Hangzhou number 9. These are the Chinese space peppers. They're descendants of a seed that was cultivated and grown in space and then brought back to Earth. I don't want to go into too much detail on them. I kind of want them to be a surprise because they are freaking neat looking. Here we have the Mako Koku. I do believe I'm pronouncing that right. However, I'm not 100%. They're a Chinense and another one that was thrown in by white hot peppers. So, hey, why not, right? Bleeding Borg 9. This one I actually ordered myself, and I'm pretty sure, unless my memory does not serve me correctly, they're called bleeding because the calyx also stay bright red, or turn bright red with the pepper, and they're going to be cool white hot, and if everything I've read is true, they're going to be full of flavor too. Moving down here. These are both 7-Pot Primo yellow, but this one, I need to nip this right now, because I believe that's bad. In fact, I know it. I'm going to pluck that whole thing off right there, and that's just going to make it bush out a little bit more. Okay, sorry about that. 7-Pot Primo yellow, and while we're here, I'm going to go over the one thing about using my grass clippings that has been a problem this year. Because a lot of the composting was done later in the fall and into the winter, it didn't quite get hot enough to kill off all the seed. So, we have quite a bit of grass seed in there. But, considering I have not fertilized my front yard in, I don't know when the last time it was fertilized, but I have been taking care of the yard solely for at least 7 years, and never put 1 ounce of fertilizer on it, and the grass stays green as long as there's water. I think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to drown out my plants or take too many nutrients. Either way, I'm going to pluck it as I see it to the best of my ability. I decided to go with 1 Scotch bonnet this year. I started with 2, but the second one was doing horribly, and I should probably go ahead and take these out. I actually forgot they were back there. I started with 2, but because it had just stopped growing, I took it out and replaced it with another one of these over here, which we'll get to. These are my white ghosts right here. I'm so looking forward to these. I cannot wait. Just topped them the other day. God knows, these little white, get out of there. No, get. I don't care where you go, just not on my plants. So, if you'll notice, that one has even bigger leaves than the other one back there. Good God. Topped this plant a few days ago, and down below it has started to really bush out. This is a very, very strong stalk. This one I may just leave as is, or I may top, I'm not sure. It just depends. I believe I topped this one because it had something on the, it had the leaves were, oh yeah, that's right, that right here. There was something, I think like a mite is causing this damage. So I went ahead and nipped the top off because there were about 12 leaves on there that looked bad. And it's starting to look a lot better down below. Everything looks fine, I think, but I'll keep an eye on it. These all 3 are white Fatali, I think. Let me make sure, because I only see the, okay, nope, yep, they are definitely Chinense, which is good. You can tell because we have, come on, focus right here. Multiple buds coming from the same Y, and more there, more over here. It's just not going to focus right. But yeah, definitely a Chinense. The white Fatali are supposedly not anywhere near the top of the heat chain, which I'm fine with. I want some for flavor, and I also want them for color, because I plan on doing some fun things with colored hot sauce this year. Not with dyes, but with natural things like blueberries, stuff like that. Look at that bad boy. I gotta back up. So, you see how high these tomato cages are? It is up and over them by the height of all the other plants. That's my Reaper. Just loaded. There's just one right here. Look at how many of these things are coming out. It is ridiculous. All down in there. I don't have any that have actually set yet, but that is also not uncommon given how long these things generally take to mature. They sort of reset their maturity when you bring them inside over the winter. They go into a dormant mode, and they're just trying to stay alive. But now it is trying its hardest to fruit, and pretty soon we're going to have some hot stuff. Sorry about that. Had to take a moment to wipe some sweat off my face. I am in the shade over here, and it's still ridiculously hot. These are the last two that I planted back here. These are my Ahi Pineapples. They look very small in comparison to the other stuff, but that's because they were done like 5 days ago, I think. And they're still getting over their transplant shock. I also used a different soil for these than I did for these others. If you see, that one has a lot of stuff on the top of it, like little bark shavings, and actually this one's a better one. You can see a lot of just organic material that's meant to cover the top. This one doesn't have as much, so it looks a little more like it's caked in there. I hope the plants are able to grow in it. I mean, I can move these around and see that it's not super solid like a thick clay or anything, but this is almost an experiment at this point. They're healthy, they're bright green, and as I said, it has been 5 days. There's a lot of undergrowth in there, in the especially in that one. You can see smaller leaves coming through. Looks good. Chocolate Butla. These are in the same container they were in last year, and I don't know what it is about the leaves of this one, but the slugs absolutely love it. Last night I pulled 3 slugs off, and as you see, they have done a number on some of these leaves, but the leaves are bright green, they're huge, the plant is healthy, and I'm not going to complain too much. These were sort of an afterthought. I threw the seeds down, and the devil's tongue yellow have begun to sprout, or they had begun to sprout, and I said, you know what, might as well. So I let them go, and I just put them in the smaller pots because you know, I wasn't super. They were ones that I did not choose. They were thrown in, but I figure, hey, why not? I've got them. This is a ghost that is rather healthy, not grown from seed. This one I got, I believe it is a. I actually have the company name over here. Leaders, as in leader of the pack, Butchalokia. So I've got 2 of them. That one and that one right there. This one is super healthy and putting out plenty of buds and has a ladybug. Always good luck. I hope that ladybug did not find aphids and park there, but if it did, I hope it lays eggs and all the babies come out and eat all the aphids in my garden and get big and huge and put more ladybugs out here and eat more aphids. This is an overwintered Reaper in a small container, one that I can easily isolate later in the season. It's trying to bud already, looking pretty good. I might repot it here in a little bit, in like a couple weeks. It's probably going to be reaching the end of the nutrients of that one pretty soon. This is a peach ghost scorpion from last year, obviously. You can see these old things where it's been trimmed back, and it's got not one, but a 2 nice ones on there, and a 3rd one coming right back here, at least. I haven't really inspected it a lot, but that tells me that it's doing its job. Ooh, hey, got a 4th one right here. And then the Ahi Pineapple, finally, that I brought in last year, looking great. And by looking great, I mean, look at this. Multiple back there, got one there, some down in this area. I'm just really psyched about how this one's looking too. And yeah, that concludes my walkthrough of the front, or of the back. I will go out front and take a video when stuff is looking better, but since everything was just transplanted over there for now, I believe that's gonna be it. Whew. Yeah, so haven't been out here but a little bit, and as you can see, I already need another shower almost. But that's what we've got going. Everything's looking great, with very few exceptions. I'm looking forward to the rest of this season. I'm looking forward to keeping y'all updated, and hopefully I have some interesting videos of myself eating things that humans should not consume, and living to tell about it with any kind of luck. With that, I believe this video is going to draw to a close. I was hoping that I could get my frog buddy up here to make an appearance, but he's not up there. However, let's see if I can get he is right down in there. That's where he's hanging out today. I'm going to leave him right there. Hey, little guy. Gently set that down. I don't want to knock him loose. Let him sort of chill out. It's a hot day. He's in a cool tube. Hopefully there's some airflow. But yeah, going to cut the video here. Hope you enjoyed my walkthrough. The next one, I don't know. It depends on how stuff grows. If stuff really shoots up, it might be in a week, it might be in 2 weeks, might be in a month. We'll see. But I'm happy to know that at the very least, I'm going to get a couple of pineapples, I'm going to get a couple of ghosts, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of reapers. If nothing else produces, I've got that going for me, which is nice. But I don't think that'll be the case. That being said, I will see you next time.